Hey buddies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon and today we're doing an unboxing and a review. We're doing a kind of brief review, not a how to set up play and review, because I'll be doing that in more detail in another video. This though is a game I'm opening specifically now, War of the Rings 2nd edition based on Lord of the Rings trilogy. Well no, it's not a trilogy, this is one book in 3 parts. Just make sure people are aware of this. Which the author, Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien, was actually born about 24 kilometers away from where I lived. And guess who I told that information to? The designer of the game, or the lead designer from AmassGames, who at the UK Games Expo, Roberto. Fantastic to meet Roberto. I told Roberto about that fact. Very interesting. I have played this game before, obviously, to give a review. My main gaming partner as well has also played this game before, but we've not played it together. That's why I thought, well, for a start, do that and do a how to set up play and review video in due course. Also, why am I opening this game now? Because some people I know that like to paint miniatures, who I didn't even know about, some people who I met today, said, oh yeah, we're just running out of miniatures. Yeah, what do you have? We'd love to paint them. And I said, do you like Lord of the Rings? And they do. So, this is a highly, highly rated game. It's, I think, currently the 10th highest rated game of all time. It's a very long game. Now, I spent £25 in petrol going all the way across to the other side of London to play this game, when the game retails for slightly over double that. It's what some people call a grail game. It's an epic game. It's very much like the Lord of the Rings book and books and stuff like that. Big fan of Lord of the Rings. Now, as you may know, I sometimes prepare for these videos, and in this instance I do have Lord of the Rings, the card game, which I've not yet played. This is the huge box version by FFG, the living card game. Also, I have played I've also played the Lord of the Rings, the cop game, which is also on the channel, but that's currently not at the studio, that's elsewhere. As is always the case, they're not all the games at the same place, such as Artemis Project, etc. I've also played the Duel, Lord of the Rings, the Duel. This was before I really made the decision to make videos. As I said, people have nagged me for over 4 years to do Instagram and YouTube, and I was never interested. It was only when 60 games arrived back in the day, and I thought, you know what, I might have enough content now to do this. So in this particular game, one of you, of course, you can play this 1 against 1. When I played, it took 11 hours and it was 2 against 1. So there's a bit of a difference going on there, but I've seen other people play it in 4 hours. It does say it's a 2-hour game. And I'll talk a little bit about that review now, and crucially, that's about the fact that it's a very close game. Now, the peril that you get in cooperative games, you get in this game too. It's very close. You constantly think, I'm about to win, or how can I get back, and stuff like that. So the catch-up is very close and neat. The cards are very similar, actually, to that dual version as well. Certain things are going to be occurring. I'll talk to you about, it's not a negative necessarily, but for me, I think it was something to bear in mind, and it is that other people are aware of too. This might not fully fit, and this is already zoomed out twice the amount. And that is the fact that the game is usually very close. You have, obviously, the Shire folk trying to reach Mount Doom, and obviously have the enemy trying to get back at you. But typically, the games are very, very close. And that is very well balanced. That's brilliant to know. But considering playing the game for so long, especially if you happen to be playing long games, well, why don't you just cut all that out? So from that perspective, I only give the game 6 out of 10 from the point of view of if it's, everything else happens. That doesn't mean it's a 6 out of 10 game. Of course, you can give whatever rating you want. Various things unlock. Really is very deep, very well thought out game. Very, very clever. Very unique as well. And the reason why I actually went to the stand was I want to check out the card game, which actually isn't out yet. Oh yes, this also looked very interesting from Ares. Black Rose Wars, just the front cover looks really good. So as you know, I tend to go for games either based on the cover or, more importantly, the designers. So War of the Ring, yeah, that's the 2nd edition. I also wanted to say what expansion should we try, and Roberta recommended a couple. So Warriors and I think it's Lords. And I was going to get the Treebeard piece as well, but at the time being I left off that. Now, as I'm punching these out, I don't think there's a baggies in here, any baggies, which is fine. Got plenty of baggies. I'm just thinking, what am I going to be doing about providing these miniatures to somebody? Naturally, miniatures take a long time to paint. I know these people only paint on weekends. I won't name their names, but one of the partners, she will be priming, and he will be doing the painting. So look forward to that. Someone else is going to be doing my Kung Fu Panda paints. They get through 2 minis a week. So considering this particular game has over 200 minis, we're looking over 2 years potentially, but we'll have to see. If you see my other posts recently, such as the haul posts, that is Haul, you'll know that I've got another 50 odd games, and I don't think you'll mind too much, as I've already given you a kind of an overview about this game, very briefly overview, and hopefully if you do want to have that instructional video, that'll come in due course. Because I'm doing enough Lord of the Rings stuff, and I have watched all 3 films, the most recent ones by Peter Jackson. I've been to New Zealand a couple of times. I've been to Hobbiton a year after filming finished. I've also watched all 3 films in a row in one day. I've watched all 3 films from the Two Towers, the third one, Return of the King, and then the first one, Fellowship of the Ring, in one day. I've watched all 3 back to back in reverse order. Obviously not backwards, but in reverse order. I've also watched all 3 films, the extended edition, the second extended edition, amongst other things too. So I've done all that. I've been to Gandalf's pub. So we've got player aid. Now, we always like a player aid, so very nice to see player aid. Now, I played it before and I was taught it, so I didn't have to rely on it too much, and I played it 2 against 1. So here we go, we've got a 46-page rulebook. Obviously we've got the cards here we talked about briefly. We're just going to move on to those miniatures briefly. Now whilst I'm doing this, we're setting these things up, it looks like you need to have separate pieces for different size, obviously. There's also things to talk about, which includes the fact that there are various playlists on the channel. There's a setup playing review. This is a preview one, because here's this Mount Doom and obviously the various steps. Now you may have seen my video, my live stream, head to the live bit for that, to see my discussion with Stephen Bonacore, who I'll be taking around the UK Games Expo next year. I do have a playlist as well for the UK Games Expo, so if you want to check that out, you can do so over, and here we go, how nice the art looks there. I don't know if it's the official, oh it is, the official art by John Howe, as per the other videos. So here we go, just bundle up and give them these pieces, and them, and these. We're going to do a dice distancing video. If you haven't seen a dice distancing video, we can do that, of course, on the channel. I think I might do both in this instance. And we do have a spare baggie. So we do have some spare baggies for some other bits and bobs. That might be for the dice. We might as well just do that now. And if you want to see anything that's in a family weight category, here we go. There we have Gollum. So you want to be making sure you check that out as well. That looks like Gollum might well go in this bag, in fact. But for now, I'll leave it out. So, what else is there? Well, of course, there's a 4K video, it's been daily videos. If you're interested in checking out, obviously, they had a setup playing review. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, hit the notification bell. Aside from that, check out Linktree, there are giveaways coming, they're time sensitive to keep checking and clicking back through. Also, let me know in the comments, on YouTube. Finally, if you go through to Patreon, you can support the channel there to improve content. And lastly, if you go through to Instagram, you can follow, presently there's over 2,400 posts. And last but not least, there's Facebook, where you can join the discussion. Let's just zoom in and focus on this lovely artwork by John Howe if we can. Well, here we go. That has been War of the Ring. Look forward to talking about this and what I think of those expansions and ranking them. Well, now folks, back to the table.